Come on, my name's Melissa with The Upcoming. Nice to meet you. I was just wondering, when you were playing the character, was it hard to keep the bad guy and the good guy separate at the beginning before they began to merge? Did you ever start being like...
Well, you don't. When you play a bad guy, you don't think you're bad. You just realize that people don't understand your problems.
Yeah.
And so, for him, when you first meet him, a bunch of suits come in and are waving him over, and he really just doesn't care. He just continues to eat his cold hot dog, and he's going to make sure. You saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
So you saw right away that authority didn't really affect him, and he didn't like being rushed. He was treated like a dog, so he would act like one.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things was I think what is he wasn't conflicted. He was a survivor. And so for you, it might have been conflicting, like, no, Kevin, don't do that. But for him, it was, once he understood what was at stake in terms of how people were approaching him, he became the criminal. So a lot of people say, do you go to the dark side with that? I said, no, you go to what you know. And to other people, it appears dark, but to that person, it's a perfectly normal response and survival. I think maybe the charm of it is, maybe that's a bad word for watching him, but there are times you actually smile at him when maybe you think you shouldn't be smiling. There's times when you actually empathize with him more than other people in the film that you think probably you should. The look was not described, and the severity of the injuries in his head from being operated on were not it was important for me that the audience, every time they saw me, understood not only who I was, but that I was in an extreme amount of pain, that you couldn't absorb that. If you did, then all of a sudden people catch you being in the movie, and we already had a high hurdle to get over where our premise was concerned anyway, which was memory transfer. So it was important for me to go, okay, this is what I'm going to play. I'm going to play like my head's coming off me, and in the meantime, there's people that are bugging me, and those that do, he deals with them in a certain way. So there's a level of humor that comes out of the criminal. I think people smile a lot more and actually laugh a little bit at him. Maybe you're quietly embarrassed that you rooted for him or something.
And I wanted to know, how was it to work with Gary Oldman and Tommy Lee Jones once again after your 90s collaboration on JFK?
Yeah, well, I was lucky to work with Gary and with Tommy. We weren't afforded rehearsal time, which is a lost art, and it's not respected that much anymore. People just think that you can somehow come on the set and turn the cold and hot water on and off, and it doesn't really work that way. And we had some complicated scenes, and had I not had Gary or Tommy, people who have actually carried films and understand that we've got to somehow steal time. We've got to slow time down in order to rehearse in our trailer, to clear everybody out and do our own little rehearsal, because everybody thinks, and that opening scene between us all in the hospital when I wake up is a really as good a scene as I've ever been a part of, and to think that we were able to achieve that with no time speaks very loudly towards the quality of acting that they have.
And finally, one last question. I was just wondering, you've had such an incredible career, and you started and worked your way up to the top, become this award-winning actor. What would you attribute your success to, and what would you say to people trying to do the same thing?
I really believe that the story is the most important thing, not myself. I think if I was a part of good stories, that would sustain my career, not some dazzling personality. I try to save that for home, and my kids think that I'm Superman. I'm not really Superman, in the movies. They think I'm, So I think that material is what creates an actor and what sustains them. And if you that's what you have to search for. That's what you have to try to say no to something that's good and try to wait for something great. It's hard to do, but I think that's a key to it.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your night. Thanks.